the art of thinking in balance. In our environment, two forces balance our existence: the positive aspect and the negative aspect. It is common to confuse the positive with what is good and the negative with what is bad. However, both are complementary, necessary, and valuable forces for balance and evolution. Our thoughts are like growing plants. We nourish them every day, and they take shape and thrive slowly. A plant is influenced by two forces that drive its development. One is light, which encourages the stems and leaves to grow. Sunlight feeds the plant, lifts it, and expands it. The other force is darkness. Darkness drives the roots to grow deep into the ground. Roots avoid the light and penetrate the soil to absorb the essential nutrients the plant needs. This force gives the plant a firm foundation on which to stand. Our thoughts work similarly. Both aspects, light and darkness, positive and negative, are necessary. Both provide the nutrients that support growth. The light stimulates stems and leaves, and the darkness strengthens and deepens the roots. If a plant only develops its positive aspects, growing tall and spreading its leaves, but neglects its roots, it will eventually collapse due to a lack of support. On the other hand, if only the roots grow without the development of leaves or stems, the plant will never bloom or bear fruit. It will wither due to a lack of sunlight. Both aspects are essential and must be kept in balance. That point of balance is called the neutral positive aspect. It is neutral because it lies at the center, and positive because it promotes integral growth. The positive aspect represents the active, creative, driving, and generating force. It is associated with action, momentum, construction, and expansion. Energetically, it is linked with the masculine, not in a biological sense, but as a symbolic expression. Examples of this aspect include initiative, enthusiasm, determination, and growth. The negative aspect represents the passive, receptive, moderating, and containing force. It symbolizes reflection, structure, rest, and calm. It is associated with the feminine, in an energetic, not biological sense. Examples of this aspect include introspection, conservation, and receptivity. We can observe both aspects in nature: day and night, daily activity and sleep, or the seasons of the year, which alternate moments of growth with moments of rest. A thought can lean toward an excessively positive or excessively negative extreme. Focusing on only one side creates an imbalance. For instance, unrestrained enthusiasm about something new, a job, a move, a marriage, can help us expand, but if it turns into unchecked euphoria, it can throw us off balance. Someone who suddenly receives a large fortune and spends it all without reflection or moderation may end up harming themselves. In the same way, a thought can be overly negative. Constant self-criticism, discouragement, mental punishment. This, too, is a form of imbalance. That's why seeking a middle point is essential. The neutral positive thought, which balances both forces with logic, serenity, and awareness. Many people label situations as good or bad. But what we usually call good or bad is simply an expression of these two forces in motion. Darkness could not exist without light, and there would be no light without darkness. An old story illustrates this idea well. It is an ancient Taoist fable from China. Once upon a time, a wise older man lived with his son in a rural village. He had only one horse, which they used to work the land. One day, the horse ran away. The neighbors came to console him.
"What a misfortune! You've lost your only horse."
The older man replied,
"Is it good or bad? I don't know."
A week later, the horse returned, bringing a herd of wild horses.
"What good luck! Now you're rich."
The older man replied,
"Is it good or bad? I don't know."
Later, his son tried to tame one of the wild horses. He fell and broke his leg, resulting in a permanent disability.
"What a tragedy! Your son won't be able to help you anymore."
The older man replied,
"Is it good or bad? I don't know."
Soon after, a war broke out. All the young men in the village were forced to enlist. Many died. The older man's son was not drafted because of his injury.
"What great fortune you've had."
And the older man replied,
"Is it good or bad? I don't know."
This story reminds us that every situation can have positive and negative aspects, and that our immediate judgment might not reflect the whole reality. True wisdom lies in observing calmly and maintaining balance. We feed our thoughts each day, just as we water a plant. Sometimes we reinforce the positive aspect, and other times we reinforce the negative. But how do we know if we're drifting to an extreme? What follows is a 5-step exercise to cultivate neutral positive thinking. Before beginning, it's important to remember that the mind doesn't change through pressure, but through patient observation. This is not a magical technique, but rather a practical way to become more aware of how we think and evolve with serenity. Step 1. Find a moment of stillness. If you already have practice, you can do it sitting, walking slowly, or even working. The key is to be present and aware, not in a trance. Step 2. Observe your thoughts. Don't judge or reject them. Observe. Ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? Is this thought helpful, constructive, destructive, or confusing? Step 3. Classify the type of thought. Ask yourself, does this thought help me grow? If so, it's a positive thought. Does it hold me back or harm me? Then it's a negative thought. Is it balanced, clear, logical, and calm? If so, it's a neutral positive thought. Step 4. Transform overly negative or overly positive thoughts. This isn't about suppressing thoughts or replacing them with empty phrases. It's about reframing them with logic and calm awareness. For example, a negative thought,
"I'm not good at this."
Reframed,
"It's still difficult for me, but I'm learning and can improve."
a thought that is too positive,
"I'm sure everything will go perfectly. I don't have to worry about anything."
This may be unrealistic or ignore essential risks. A neutral positive version would be,
"I trust that things can go well if I do my part, prepare, and stay alert to whatever arises."
Step 5. Strengthen the neutral positive thought. Once identified, hold it in your awareness. Breathe with it. Repeat it inwardly or write it down. These kinds of thoughts nourish the inner self and build wisdom. This exercise can be practiced regularly. It helps us manage our thoughts more effectively, bring clarity to the mind, and live with greater balance. We build our reality every day through our thoughts, which hold a power we often underestimate. That reality is like a garden we care for daily. It is full of plants that need to grow in a neutral, positive way. If we act as attentive gardeners, observing, nurturing, and guiding our thoughts, we will cultivate a reality that supports our evolution and helps educate our consciousness. In doing so, we will learn the art of thinking in balance,